Florentino Perez isn't here to play games anymore. After a catastrophic season with no silverware, Real Madrid is cooking up a squad so fearsome it might need a warning label. With names like Trent Alexander-Arnold, Dean Huijsen, and tactical mastermind Xabi Alonso in the mix, the rest of Europe should be seriously concerned. The 2024-25 campaign was supposed to be unforgettable for all the right reasons. Mbappe finally arrived, joining forces with Vinicius and Bellingham to form a trio that looked downright unstoppable. But instead of glory, Madrid found disaster.
Not even Ancelotti's signature eyebrow could raise spirits. The team walked away with 0 titles, suffered brutal losses to Barcelona, and was dumped out of the Champions League in humiliating fashion. Fans were left questioning everything.
But Perez doesn't rebuild, he reloads. And the squad being assembled for the 2025-26 season under Xabi Alonso is looking downright nuclear. Let's begin with the biggest shift. Carlo Ancelotti is stepping aside. After years of teasing, he's finally accepted the offer to coach Brazil, leaving behind a team desperate for a tactical evolution. His relaxed, vibes-based approach got them far until it didn't. When Toni Kroos hung up his boots, the foundation crumbled faster than Neymar in a World Cup group stage. Now enters Xabi Alonso, the bench-side prodigy who took Bayer Leverkusen from bottom-tier expectations to Bundesliga champions with a 51-game unbeaten streak. That's about as rare in today's world as finding someone who hasn't dated half the town. Alonso officially takes over on June 1st, just in time for the revamped Club World Cup, and he's bringing with him a complete tactical overhaul. At Leverkusen, Alonso deployed a silky smooth 3-4-2-1 system that left opponents looking like practice dummies. His teams press relentlessly, transition like lightning, and hold their shape with the discipline of an elite military unit. Unlike Ancelotti, who often leaned on individual moments of magic, Alonso's vision is rooted in cohesive strategy, a foreign concept at times in Madrid. His setup calls for dynamic fullbacks, a tightly packed midfield to dictate tempo, and forwards constantly rotating positions like it's a game of musical chairs. This isn't just a new season, it's a new Madrid. Take Mbappe, for example. Alonso's plan involves getting him to track back on defense. That's about as likely as Barcelona balancing their books. But speaking of surprises, one transfer shook the football world: Trent Alexander-Arnold. The English fullback is making the move to Madrid for free after letting his Liverpool contract expire. Real pulled off the ultimate stealth mission, convincing the world's most creative right-back to walk away from his boyhood club without the Reds earning a single cent. Florentino in full puppet master mode. Sure, there'll be memes when Lamine Yamal or Rafinha make him look silly on defense, but in Alonso's system, Trent's flaws can be hidden while his playmaking becomes lethal. And the cherry on top? He reunites with Jude Bellingham. The pair were once supposed to lead Liverpool's future, now they define Real Madrid's present. Carvajal's injury last season exposed a real need for reinforcements at right back. At 33, his days as a regular starter are winding down. Meanwhile, on the opposite flank, Madrid has their eyes on Alvaro Carreras, a 22-year-old Benfica talent who once came through Madrid's system before heading to Manchester United's academy. Now, Los Blancos are trying a clever move: have United trigger his buyout clause, then immediately flip him back to Madrid at a discount. Florentino is playing transfer market chess, while others are still learning checkers. Carreras is quick, aggressive, and understands the Spanish game. Perfect for Alonso's tactics, which demand wide defenders who can stretch the field and push forward. On the defensive front, Real Madrid has brought in a towering new presence: 19-year-old Spanish-Dutch center-back Dean Huijsen. Standing at 1.95 meters, he's already making waves at Bournemouth after leaving Juventus and has committed to playing for Spain, something that wins him instant favor with the Bernabeu faithful. With the composure and passing range Alonso demands for his high defensive line, Huijsen is being tipped as Madrid's next Rafael Varane. Tall, fast, and excellent on the ball. Given Eder Militão is still recovering from a torn ligament and Rudiger is nursing a knee issue, Huijsen could see serious game time right away. And Madrid might not stop there. They're also eyeing some seasoned options from Alonso's former Leverkusen squad, like Jonathan Tah or Piero Hincapié.
On top of that, youth talent Raul Asensio has renewed his contract, adding more depth. Gone are the days of emergency lineups, like when Tchouaméni had to play as a center back. Those improvised solutions are now history.
Real Madrid's midfield is undergoing a major rebuild, with Kroos retired and Modric likely next. Their top target is Ezequiel Palacios, Alonso's trusted Leverkusen star and World Cup winner, seen as a modern Casemiro with elite passing. If unavailable, Madrid could move for Stuttgart's Angelo Steiler, a tactically sharp 23-year-old, though his new contract may raise costs.
AC Milan's Tijani Reinders is another option, but interest from Man City could spark a bidding war. Lastly, Martin Zubimendi of Real Sociedad is a Busquets-style pivot with La Liga experience, but he's likely a backup if Palacios joins. Any one of these signings would free up Camavinga to play as a box-to-box midfielder, his natural role, instead of filling in at left back or as a holding midfielder. That, in turn, would allow Bellingham to focus on scoring goals and making TikToks with Vinicius. Valverde will continue powering the midfield engine, while Tchouaméni needs to bounce back from a mixed season. In the final third, Madrid already boasts two of the most dangerous wingers in the world, Mbappe and Vinicius. But there's uncertainty around Rodrigo, who had an inconsistent year and may be on the move. Let's not forget 19-year-old Endrick, who arrived last summer and is expected to have a bigger role this season. Then there's Arda Güler, the gifted Turkish midfielder whose debut year was marred by injuries. Brahim Diaz remains a solid contributor but may see reduced minutes if more offensive stars arrive. Madrid's attack is already stacked, but when has that ever stopped them? It's like they're collecting infinity stones while everyone else plays with pebbles. In Alonso's preferred 3-4-2-1 setup, the lineup could look like this: Courtois in goal, Militao, Huysen, and Rudiger in defense, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Carreras as wingbacks, Tchouaméni and Palacios or Camavinga and Valverde in midfield, with Bellingham and Vinicius supporting Mbappe up top. In a more classic 4-3-3, players like Güler, Brahim, and Rodrigo, if he stays, would rotate through, giving Alonso flexibility based on the opponent.
And that tactical adaptability might be Alonso's biggest strength. He can tailor formations to the moment, unlike Barcelona, who still seem unsure whether Lamine Yamal is a 17-year-old prodigy or a compact 25-year-old. Still, let's be honest, we've been here before. Last year, Madrid was hyped after signing Mbappe, and they finished the season empty-handed. The memes are already brewing in Catalonia for Super Madrid 2026 if they fall short again. Alonso's biggest test won't just be tactics, it'll be managing egos. Getting Mbappe to defend is like trying to wash a cat. Possible in theory, but a battle in reality. Vinicius needs to stop arguing with referees every 5 minutes. And above all, the pressure is immediate. This is Real Madrid. There's no time for patience. The fans want trophies, and they want them now. Yesterday is already forgotten in Madrid. Xabi Alonso may arrive as a club legend, but even legends have an expiration date if the results don't come quickly. Just ask Zidane. Once hailed as a footballing god, he found himself under pressure just weeks after a poor run. And the competition? It's not waiting around. Flick's Barcelona are finally clicking with Lamine Yamal and Lewandowski. Manchester City remains a well-oiled machine. Bayern Munich are reawakening. And PSG, well, they're still PSG. Dangerous in Europe, but always flirting with chaos. But if there's one man who can bring order to Real Madrid's chaos and make it all work, it's Xabi Alonso. He transformed Bayer Leverkusen from underachievers into champions. He understands Real Madrid's DNA, and perhaps most importantly, he has the full backing of Florentino Perez to implement his vision. Alonso learned from the very best: Guardiola, Mourinho, Ancelotti, Benitez, absorbing the tactical knowledge that now shapes his coaching style. The 2025 FIFA Club World Cup will be Alonso's first real test. With Trent Alexander-Arnold already registered and several more signings likely to join, the objective is crystal clear: win it. Madrid wants to become the first champion in the revamped Club World Cup format, and that $150 million prize wouldn't hurt either. Financial balance still matters to Florentino, but glory comes first. Reclaiming La Liga and challenging for the Champions League are not goals, they are obligations.
What makes this Madrid rebuild different from previous Galactico eras is balance. Yes, there are stars, but there's also structure. Alonso isn't just stacking big names, he's building a team, brick by brick. Each player has a purpose. The signings are addressing real gaps instead of just boosting the brand. The defense is younger and stronger. The midfield is reimagined but not overloaded. Lessons have been learned from past mistakes. But make no mistake, this is still Real Madrid. That means drama is inevitable.
Expect drama. Controversial VAR calls, last-minute goals, locker room leaks, and headline-grabbing pressers. But also expect brilliance. Under Xabi Alonso's tactical guidance, Madrid is a must-watch team packed with talent. If Mbappe and Vinicius find chemistry in year 2, they could be unstoppable.
The big question: can the new reinforcements finally fix Madrid's defensive issues? Alonso's success could reshape European football and spark a dynasty like Guardiola's Barca. Or it could be another big-budget flop. All the pieces are there. Florentino's built the squad. Alonso has the plan. Now the world watches. Madrid isn't just awake, it's dangerous.